Hello everyone. In our previous video, we have seen how to implement SOAP API. In this video, we will see how to implement the REST APIs, and also we will see how to implement the REST APIs with RPC. So let's begin. I have already created this template to save some time. My pom.xml is ready. This is the only dependency which we will need with respect to RPC methods, Spring Boot starter JSON. Other than that, the other dependencies are usual Spring Boot dependencies we need for API implementation. So let's start with the controller. Let me start with the first controller. I will name it as my controller.java. So this how to mention it. This is a controller. We use annotation REST controller, and we will also define what would be my request mapping. I'll define it as /API. Now I'll just write a method public. I'll return a simple string. Say hello. Return I am in hello method. Hello method. So this is my one method. I will define it as a get mapping, and I'll define the mapping for it would be /hello. Now I'll write another method public. This I could make as post, so echo return to plus. So I'll define here, I'll get request body of string type message, and I will append this message with my return string, and I have to define here post mapping. I need it as a post mapping, and I'll define it as /echo. So I have two mappings here, body string. Done. So my controller is ready. Let me just run and test how it works. And then delay install. So this is my REST API. This is ready. We are compiling it. Now we will run it, and we'll just test the APIs. So we have got two APIs. One API is hello, which is of get, and the other one is post echo, which will take the parameter from the request. So let's test it in the Postman. It is already ready. So first I'll test hello. So I don't need this parent here, send. So I am in hello method. Now I'll just have echo. It is of post type, and I have to pass. If I will not pass anything over here, then it will give me an error, because this will consider it as a null. So I have to pass it I am in echo method. So it will now append and return the value. So these two APIs we have tested. One is get, one is post. So this is the REST API. This is pretty simple. So just to continue, I'll implement one more API. This would be my RPC API controller. This is also a REST controller, but with RPC implementation. So let's see what it is exactly and how it works. After implementation, I'll explain you the difference as well. So this is my REST controller. I will define as a request mapping, and in this I'll mention as /RPC Now, just to save the time, I'm not following any best practices here. Just to save the time, because I want to focus on the RPC REST API implementation, I'm going to create a static class here for the getter setter. So public static class, I'll define all the getter setter here, private uh, string method, and another variable I need to have which is of parents, because these I'll explain you. Let me complete this string object. So you see here, I'm going from the user request body. I'll have operation name, or say method name, and I will have parameters. So this data I'll get from the user request, and I'm going to perform some operation here. Okay, so let's continue this as of now. So I have to create the get method, in which I will return method, and then I have a public set method in which I will get some value, and I will this dot method equal to method. So I've set it here. What is it saying? Syntax error. uh, to name it as RPC request. So this is a request parameters basically. So what is it saying? Okay, string private map. Okay, I forgot the map. Void set method. Now for the params also we need public map type. It will return map string comma object, and it would be parents, or get parents, return, it will return parents, and I'll have a setter method also, public void set parents, and in this I will have again map string comma object, it will have parents, this dot parents is equal to parents this. Okay, so this getter setter is ready. I will stop this as of now. Now one more thing I will define here is interface. Again, this is not a best practice, but I'm just doing it to save some time. Best RPC method, I'll keep it as, and private interface RPC. Oh, okay, and I will define here a variable map of string comma object. I'll have a execute method, and in the execute method also I will have parents, which is of type map string comma object. Now two things I all need to define. First, let me just create public RPC API controller. I need to instantiate the constructor. Before that, because I need a variable also, I'll create a variable private final map string comma object. I will keep it as RPC method, RPC method type, and it will be methods because multiple methods are there, and new hash map. So now here I need to define as methods dot put key. I will put as a add method comma, and I need a subtract. So two methods I'm going to create. Let's create them first. Okay, so now I'll have a private method which will return map string comma object. It will be add, and it will take also the same check. This would be taking as parents. Same way, private this subtract, it will also take parents this. Now I'll have int a equal to parents. I need to read the parameters dot get a b, and also I need to typecast them to integer, or also I need to cast it to int, and then I will just add result a plus b int, and then I will have another map string comma object. I'll create a response map here, and new hash map. We assign this response dot put. I'll have your result. Okay, result, and this is also result. And I will return this response. I will copy this as it is, because in subtract it will be same, just instead of addition we are doing subtraction. Hash map error. So this is sorted. Object, what we have parents. Okay, so now we can have here this. Now this addition, so add, and this is this subtract. So we are good. So we have defined the operation. One operation is addition, one operation would be subtraction. We are not going to, we have made them as private. They will not be publicly accessible. In the request, user will be providing the operation name, or say method name. Based on that, the operation will be performed. So let's define the API now. I'll write here public map string comma object handle RPC call. Let's suppose RPC request, and it will have request body of RPC request type. Variable is request. So you see RPC request here we have defined, in which we have a method name and we have params. So when the request body will come, it should have a method name and it should have a parameters in this format, and it would be of post mapping, and we don't need to define any mapping here because internally we have implemented to handle the operation. Now here I'll mention RPC method. I need to call what method has been called. So RPC method is equal to request methods dot get request dot get method. So for example, this request will give me the method name, the operation name, add or subtract. Then in the methods we have defined here, we have defined the constructor. Methods are either add or subtract. So if it is addition, then it will go to the add method. If it is subtraction, it will go to the subtraction method. Now we will define here, if method is null, then what would we do? Method equal to null, then we have to throw new illegal argument. Illegal exception in which I need to pass invalid method. Rest dot get method, else it will return method dot execute. It will execute the method with the params. Okay, so we are done. The implementation is done. Let's test it first. I hope this is clear. Let me just summarize one more time. This is the API call will happen because this is the only public method we have defined here. Rest all methods are private. So with the post mapping, it will come over here, and in the request body, it will be of type RPC request. So in the RPC request, you can see we have to we should have two parameters. One is your method name, and the other one would be a map of params type, in which key would be string and this would be a object type. So then it will get here from the request body, it will check which method has been come, and based on the method, if it is add, then it would go to the add method and perform the addition operation, else it will go to subtract and perform the subtract operation. So now let's build the code. Let's run the code. And Now let's test it. I already have this API. It is of post type, and you can see we have a method and we have the params. So this is a map of key value pair. It can object we have kept because it can be integer, it can be float, or any type for the addition purpose. Now I'll hit it. So I am calling subtract method, so it is doing a performing the subtract operation. Now I'll do it add, it will do a addition. So the mapping is RPC only. So now you can see the difference in RPC and the REST APIs. The idea of RPC is that when we implement the RPC style of implementing the API, all the methods would be private. Only one method would be public, which will get the parameter, which will have the request, and the request will have all the parameters along with the operation name or the method name, which is a privately implemented. So all the REST APIs are publicly facing, and all the APIs which are RPC with REST, they are the backend APIs. So this is done. I think this is helpful. So we got just to summarize, we have implemented SOAP API, we have implemented REST API, and we can also implement RPC with SOAP API as well, and with REST API also. SOAP is a stateful API, while REST is stateless API. REST is cacheable, while SOAP is not cacheable. SOAP is purely XML based API, while REST support JSON, XML, and string format also. So this is it for this session. If you have any queries or any use case which we can do experiment with, you can definitely leave in the comment section. I will try to pick up some. I'll try to pick up some interesting use cases and try to implement if that is good learning for everyone. Thank you so much for now. Let's meet in the next session. Thank you.